Shaolin. It's going for like $2 million or something like that. They only made one copy.
No, they sold it.
One ever.
Yeah.
No, it's been sold, but now because the guy's been arrested, it's up for grabs again. Yeah.
Thoughts from LA to the UK. What's up? We're here today. Von Joseph here. Happy to have you with us. I am joined by Liam and Naz.
I was gonna say you
on the other sides of the table, and we got some special guests with us today. Joining us all the way from former Storage Hunters UK. We've got the ladies from the Boudica Diaries and the is it Devon Diaries too?
Yeah,
all these diaries over here. It's their own YouTube channel.
Welcome. Could be our downfall.
Welcome to the show. So you were talking about the Wu-Tang CD. What was it called?
album.
I think Once Upon a Time in Shaolin.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I knew it was something about Shaolin.
So there's only one, and it was sold to
Martin Shkreli for something like $2 million. He bought it for, and I think because he's now been arrested, it's apparently now up for grabs. The guy who is in charge of what happens to it is Attorney General for the United States. This guy Jeff Sessions.
Wow.
Who was a tiny little old man dwarf.
Why would Jeff Sessions be in charge of a CD?
He's not judge, isn't he?
Because he's there.
Did they confiscate his stuff? Or not?
I guess they've confiscated his stuff, and in terms of what happens to all of his possessions that they've seized, I guess he's ultimately the one who can decide on what happens with it or where it goes. So apparently he's the one that kind of can decide that. So I don't know if they put about a portion. I can imagine it's now going to be worth
for
more
$2 million. I could have had Wu-Tang come to the house and recorded a live session.
They went.
You could have recorded your own album.
Well, they did it in Morocco. Apparently, they went out to Morocco, recorded the whole album, and there was one copy. It was in like a really nice, fancy little
like a Riyadh or somewhere.
Somewhere, I'm not sure. Riyadh's in Saudi, isn't it?
No, but a Riyadh, like one of the
old like a Riyadh. Okay.
With all the tiles.
I'm miles off. I was like,
let's go to Morocco. We'll an album. Come on.
Let's do it. I'm down. But yeah, ultimately, it's a good thing because it's out of his hands.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have a chance to listen to it.
And he was just a bad guy anyway. So it's just a good thing that he doesn't have it. To be fair, because he was just trying to rip people off for like life-saving cancer drugs and things like that.
Yeah, he put up the price by like 90% or something.
Something like 600%.
Oh, really?
He went like he went ridiculous. Yeah.
You're right.
And because he was the only one that owned it or had like a 10-year license or something like that. Like he knew no one else could do anything about it, so they would ask him about it and just sit there and just smile.
Yeah,
he was a real asshole. Wasn't he?
Yeah. Like he's like, if you Google him, like there's one like face which he's just got this grin on his face that he's got a punchable face.
It's like a Montgomery Burns grin, isn't it? Like
a Monty Burns grin from The Simpsons, and he's just got a really punchable face. But he's in prison now.
I'm sure he's getting all the punches.
He's going back to our previous show where someone's probably pushing him over for the soap.
Oh yeah,
he's having a bad time with it.
We edited all that out of that show.
Yeah, I know.
I watched it. It got to be a little bit gay and a little bit too much about prison and anal sex and all kinds of stuff. So we had to edit that down. It was too long, and it just became one big long dick segment. So we had to get rid of that stuff.
Had to get rid of that meaty section.
Yeah. Speaking of meat, so Sainsbury's local supermarket here in the UK. Your dogs are barking.
I can hear
individually wrapping meat for you millennials. You're not technically a millennial.
That's why.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that? Speak on it.
I want to get my head around this first. So let's start there. Revolve around me, guys. I know I'm joking. So it's individually wrapped. So you just take it off and just drop it in the water.
What's individually wrapped? One chicken breast or one wing?
Apparently, yeah.
That's a waste of plastic.
Like one chicken breast.
That's the problem. That's what people are saying.
It's plastic waste. All this.
Yeah. So millennials are worried about the future, but then they're worried about being real. What? OCD?
When I cook chicken, I boil the bones afterwards to make stock. But like the old people,
you boil the fat off your meat.
So the young people, they're afraid of getting salmonella and E. coli and all
but then they throw so much of that is waste, and they only eat one bit of the chicken, and it all goes out in the bin. I really hate those.
Yeah, why don't they just cook the chicken so they don't get salmonella?
I actually worked in a meat factory.
Tip for you guys, that one's free.
I actually worked
and wash your hands.
Yeah,
wash your hands. That's the thing. They're too lazy to just wash their hands.
How is it that difficult to just get a regular packet?
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
chicken. Yeah, with your hands. Like a regular person can do, and then wash your hands.
People don't wash their hands.
Go to the butcher's counter in Sainsbury's. Go to the counter where the meat is there instead of. You know, I mean, why aren't people imaginative? Why are they just buying one chicken breast or why don't they go and buy the rare cuts of meat, like more unusual things like neck, or I mean, a lot of the soul food and food that is more interesting soul food in different cultures is actually made out of the cheaper cuts and the more unusual cuts that you don't get filleted in the plastic polystyrene containers.
Well, the thing of it is they're eating out a lot. Mm-hmm. They don't eat. They don't eat. Them already. They don't eat in restaurants, so they're not getting that at-home cooking experience.
The home cooking experience is the more unusual cuts of meat, like neck of lamb or cow's foot, rice and peas, all sorts of different kinds.
But they don't know how to do that, though. They don't know how to cook.
Why don't they weren't? Why the grandmothers not telling them this?
This
is the grandmother's job to tell them about the tradition of your home soul food.
Yeah, but these kids now are playing games, aren't they? There's a barrier, isn't there?
I'm telling you, I was in love with a millennial, and I cooked him a biryani, a proper, real Pakistani biryani, and he never had food like that in his life. Because again, I was married to a man who that is the culture of the food, is that old school style,
But that's all gone now, isn't it? Everything's gone.
With lust, not with love.
I mean, people. Frightened of chickens, they're frightened of everything.
And it doesn't taste so good.
That's it.
In and out.
Rip and tip. That's why they want.
It goes out your bum.
That's what it's called. Rip and tip.
Yeah.
No.
The packet, tip it.
Yeah.
It's like there's
throw the plastic away.
Well, there's terrible things. Those Hank Marvin, those bloody awful chicken tikka bite things. Mattisons.
Oh yeah.
Or what about getting a whole chicken in a can?
Oh,
I've seen that.
That's old. Actually, I used to have that in the war. When people were starving and the troops.
They're planning for a war, so that's perfect.
You get a whole chicken in a can.
It's disgusting. It's horrible. It comes out.
Really, just
like a bird thing.
It came out of
like a bird thing.
It looks like it came out of a cow. It looked like it was a birth. And it's covered in.
It's slime. Yeah.
That's what it looks.
But then when you think about the old days when there was like famines, they used to have that canned meat coming over from the States mostly. It's mostly coming from America to the poor countries, and people would be so. I mean, look at Syria. If you could drop that canned meat on them now, they'd be pleased for it. There's places in the world where there is no food, so for that reason, canned food and all that stuff, they can't have spam. Remember, in Muslim countries, so they have the chicken in the. I mean, there's people in terrible situations where for that food, for them, if it's going to be their survival, they have to have it, don't they?
Exactly. If we are touching on that topic, it's like you've got it's such a shortage of food, and obviously odd meats that we call possibly household pets are like against a lot of faiths.
Yes, exactly.
There's such a shortage of food and in these war-stricken places, they were requesting, can we get an approval to eat them? That's really
in Syria, they ate the cats and the dogs. They had to, and that is against Islam to do that.
The zoo animals, is it?
They had to do it.
Yeah, possibly.
And it's totally against Islam to do that. To eat the cats. I mean,
and it just shows that we're in such a bad place.
It was desperate time.
But these millennials can sort it out.
Let them do it.
Starting off in the kitchen.
Millennials won't do nothing.
They're too busy.
Millennials, what they'll do is they'll share your post, they'll tweet about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
You'll get retweets.
And if you're listening, guys, tweet this video and put up a comment.
And then go wash your hands and make some chicken.
And go back to your grandma and ask her the recipes for some home cooked food.
So this woman I was reading over here in the UK, she's upset because her son is being switched to a vegan diet at his nursery school, and she's outraged that the school didn't contact her about this. I don't see why she can't just feed the kid meat at the end of the day when he gets home.
Yeah.
Why would you be upset because your kid's having one healthy meal out of the day that doesn't include a dead carcass?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what the ideology is. I think it might be more of a control thing. This is my son. I want him to be a carnivore, or whatever you want to call it. I honestly don't see the logic. I'm trying to see reason, but there is none. I mean, it's a healthy meal. I'll be jumping with joy because what we've been fed at school leaves you lethargic, leaves you,
This is true.
Like less of a human, really, because it's all just junk foods.
Sugars,
something
fats.
Wholesome. All saturated, all these additives, you name it.
But everybody at this table will eat some French fries if they have.
I will eat
them. But listen, if someone's going to give the kids vegan food for one meal of the day, I think this is amazing.
Yeah, I think
this could spark something in their head to become a chef or do something different with. This is different. What are parents holding their kids back from this good opportunity for?
And if you want to look at agriculture, let's look at how much meat is being consumed. How much of the
I think they need to educate the mother. That's what happens.
I think it's really. I think this is a situation of being a positive. No, this is an opportunity, not a problem. Why are parents making this a problem?
Screw you, mum.
You know what? Yeah,
I'm a vegetarian.
Then. What's the problem? They've got to be given this chance. It's a different, you know.
Yeah.
It is the freedom of choice, though. Is that she doesn't like that the choice has been taken away from her.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Maybe she can do it at home.
Yeah, but she doesn't like that he goes to school. And
she doesn't like he goes to school. I got you.
But they didn't even decide to send home a note saying, "Hey, we're going to stop serving chicken." It wouldn't even have made any difference. She would have been none the wiser. The kid would have been eating healthier, and then the kid would still been eating.
But they've changed all this now.
When he got home.
Children at school now, they've actually they send a menu to the parents, and they say, "Oh no, they can't have this. They can have this," and this is what's happening. So they're getting the children to decide at home. When I was at school, you just had whatever it was, pink custard and everything.
You left what you didn't eat. Obviously, you have to push it to the side, or you say to the lady in the thing, "I don't eat that. I don't eat pig. I don't eat prawn. Can you just give me?" And they give you extra potato and extra beans or cheese, or they give you something else. You know.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't think we were deprived. That was the way it was. No, and yet nowadays, the kids have said, "Oh, those people must have been very deprived."
No.
The thing is, millennials are saps. They just are because of society. But that they're being raised by the people that are now criticising them.
Yes.
That's ultimately, this is
it's
the
my
parents,
generation that's raising those monsters
who are now they've raised the kids and then suddenly the kids are growing up and feel all entitled, etc. And all the parents are going, "What happened to her?" It's like, well, you tell me.
You did it. You made this monster.
What I think happened is
Frankenstein's monster.
You've got kids. You've got to think about like your parents. Say I'm 45 years old. We'll just say like my mom. Her parents were probably so brutal. They weren't, but let's just use that as an example. That she decided, "Well, I'm going to do better when it comes to raising my kid." And so then when she raised me, there was a little less, putting your kid in a headlock and punching him in the face. She would just slap you upside the head, and that was better than being put in a headlock and punched in the face. So then when I had a kid now, which I don't, so now my kid would be 20 years old, 25, I'm 45.
Yeah, we're all the same age anyway.
Right. So I wouldn't have, slapped the kid, and I would have been like, "Well, I'm going to do a little better."
I don't know. I think I would.
Well, you know what I'm saying. So I would have treated that kid a little better than I was treated.
I'll drop kick him.
Right. No, but seriously, so now I'm treating them even less aggressive or abrasive or corporal punishment than my parents might have done. So now they're just pampered and they're babies.
It's become very entitled, like Liam said.
Right.
There's an entitlement there, which is actually we find it obnoxious, and it actually takes away from the journey of what some people have had to go through. It actually detracts from the journey of poverty that a lot of the parents and the grandparents have actually had.
Right.
In whichever country you grow up, there's been that journey, which is obviously, and that's been kind of, it sort of insults it a bit when they're so entitled.
Everyone's trying to sort of improve on what the previous generation did in terms of raising their kids, but they're forgetting what made their generation great.
Yes, exactly.
In terms of how to raise your kid and give them a bit of discipline.
Yes, give a discipline and some morals.
The kids now,
you're so right, Liam.
Like when they're 20
so right.
Years old. So like,
they're going to be the biggest saps in the world. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to leave. They're going to be in a room like this, and they're not going to leave.
I don't think so.
Their chicken is going to come through this tube, and their water's going to come through this tube, and they're just going to have a plate here.
That's what I mean, though. But that's what I mean, though. That's exactly what I was leading towards. So I don't think that they're going to be as.
They're not going to carry on tradition.
No,
right?
They're not, because they think so differently than the way their parents did.
Because their parents haven't taught them tradition, because the parents were embarrassed about that.
No. So
they must be embarrassed about it, otherwise they're
think about it from this standpoint, from like a technological standpoint, right? We didn't have this stuff. We didn't have this stuff when we were kids, did we? So we don't think.
Of course we didn't.
We don't think in terms of swiping and zooming and pinching and all that shit. So these kids now that are 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, whatever years old, that's all they know about.
Yeah, that's it.
And great video games and Twitter and all this stuff. So their brain doesn't know a world that has a landline phone with a cable attached to it.
They know
I got a cordless phone and you went like this with the antenna in the house. I was in the backyard, with this big old, Saved by the Bell exact, So I think they will have evolved to a level where they will be like, look at what our parents, used to live like. They used to have to use their phone to take pictures, whereas now they'll just have like a camera contact lens where they would just be videotaping everything. So, you know, this is going to seem antiquated. Us sitting around here and spending half an hour just setting up 4 microphones is going to seem stupid to them.
I think there's the whole element of, yes, we're becoming lazier and technology will continue to do that to us. And there's that whole notion of, if I can do it with less the effort, then why not? But then I think there's some core beliefs that should be instilled and that should carry on tradition. So like my parents, we don't even need to go back that far. I'm the youngest of 3, got a brother who's 10 years older and a sister who's 6 years older. Like, they improved their parenting through them. Irony is, I'm the cock up. And those 2 are the saints. But we're not using that as my
usually the youngest one is the one that's got the most lackadaisical discipline. Because they're tired by the time they got to just be home.
That's like, damn man, I got to work and raise you. No, joking.
So I think, what was I going to say? I completely forgot what I was going to say, and it was relevant to what your point was. But I think the parenting is so different. It's like they are the generation of what do you call it? They get an achievement award or participation awards. We're giving them trophies just for showing up.
Showing up.
Right. So, right.
I like this.
That's a big problem. You know, you shouldn't be getting.
Everyone's so worried about hurting each other's feelings,
and that's another thing.
That we're so fake to it. We're only on the surface. We're not getting to the actual root.
It's terrible. People can't make real friends. People are scared to make real friends.
Yeah, it's true.
No, we were talking offline about social skills. Like, I don't know who one of you guys I was speaking to. Maybe I was talking to myself. Who knows? But if it was myself, I was talking to myself about social skills and how no one.
You got all the answers, haven't you, Naz?
Yeah. Well,
everybody's so conscious now, though. Everybody's so awake. You know, it's like,
no, we're asleep. That's the problem.
That's true.
I disagree. I disagree because there's so much information.
We're in the information age.
I think the people are awake. But now we don't know what to do about controlling it.
I think the ones
I mean, think about when I was watching some little smart ass kid, and he was so in tune with what was going on. He was probably about 17 or 16 years old, and he was like, well, da 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 da. And I'm like, where are you getting these opinions from? When I was 16, I was like,
college.
Yeah, let's go.
Don't you think that people now, when they've got that whole, when they are angry about something, it's all very selfish. It's not actually about the next person. It's not actually about making a difference and changing it for other people. It's all about themselves.
Yeah.
When they do have something to say out of this sort of entitled kind of haze that they live in, when they do have something to say, it's something that is to put them up there, not something that is. They haven't got that kind of guru way of helping lots of people. They don't have that giving. It's not about giving. It's about announcing.
Yeah, and
this is
lovers themselves.
It's wrong. Never mind what's wrong. Let's do something that's right, and then highlight the thing that's been wrong by the right thing that you've done. They're not They're not doing something to benefit other people. Some people that we all know are because of youth leaders and what have you. But the millennials, when they're having a whinge or
they want 15 minutes of fame on Twitter or YouTube or Facebook, whatever it is, and they want to go viral for a day.
Yeah,
and then disappear back into the shadows
and compromise on the actual value of things. So, who are celebrities today? Just normal people who are acting a fool in a house.
I know.
Let's say on Big Brother or these other reality shows. I can't stand them. I'm not hating. Well done for making some money and
it's boring to watch.
Yeah, but then you've got to have a concept behind it. Don't just like base it on acting erratically.
But that's what's raising our kids though now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
they think this is normal.
Yes.
And this is also going to get me money if I act stupid like this, like a housewife or whatever.
But if we rewind it back, like just like a few moments ago, I was mentioning how if we got to have core beliefs because I think for example, take my sister for example, she's got 2 daughters, one's 11 and one's 5, and they're so smart and so with it and so like nurtured to nature as well.
Lovely kids,
I've got one of my 5-year-old always comes and gives me a hug and a kiss.
It's good.
So you're very lucky.
Context.
Yes. And it's unusual, and you're lucky.
Mind you, if you do that in the media, they go mad, don't they? If you hug your kid or kiss your kid, they just pick up and say, "Oh, what's that? Why are they doing that?
Because they're not used to it. But like ultimately, where if you teach them right, tell them what's right and wrong, and then give them a sense of understanding so they can know for themselves, then I think they can surpass through all the bullshit and still live through the current affairs that we're dealing with. Because if you so like I feel like my dad used to take me back home to Bangladesh and get some culture and then some understanding, but it wasn't so much the culture of just Bangladesh of such. It was more so understand that there's these silly class systems in place, understand there's poverty, and count your blessings. And
understand why he left that seemingly paradise, because when you go back to those countries, you're treated like the golden son, and you're treated like royalty when you go back home.
And you can look at it through that perspective. Ultimately, also, I was shown the perspective of, or ultimately saw it myself, where so much wealth, but there's no distribution. So there's no middle class. So you used to be rich or you're broke.
Exactly.
And we're getting that here now.
Yes. That's very true. Isn't
I
it?
agree with that.
That's why a lot of kids stay at home for longer, because, like you said, you saved money until you could buy a house. Which I think is a good idea, because I know in the States, I'm the only American here. What is going on today? From LA to the UK, it's supposed to be a fair and balanced situation. I'm outnumbered 4-1. Anyway.
Not just that, we're all from the same hometown. Even more, we're all within 5 miles radius of you.
Unbelievable.
Of you.
But the thing of it is like you got to go at 18. I mean, not really, but at 18, you're expected to either be off to university or the military, or you're working. But you don't just sit around at home and just chill. Which is, I'm seeing a lot of that now, where a lot of kids are just, they ain't doing shit,
But they feel like they're occupying their time by just going through their home field.
They're busy.
Right? I mean, I'm busy fine with you staying home if you're, you're going to university, or you just got out of university and you're saving money to buy a house, or you just got married and you're saving money to buy a house, or whatever that case may be. Even if you're just working, if you're just like, I'm not ready to go out there yet because it might be a bit rough. But I think that these millennials, we're really on millennials today, aren't we? Really, no millennials here. So I just think that there's, like we were saying before, there's these parents that are actually charging rent. And that's normal where I'm from. Like, it's like in First Fridays, like around here, you gonna work or go to school, First of the month, rent is due, you don't got any money on the table, you gotta...
Well, I was charged rent. I got nothing against that. Well, I say that. I was cheaper, actually, when I moved out.
Oh, wow. Was it?
Yes. And the thing about that, my brother was nicking all the cigarettes from my mother's handbag, so my mother was kept on charging me for it.
Oh, no. Oh, Lord.
He finally told me that. Like, I thought, and he was nicking petrol out of me freewheeler. It's true. It's really true. Yeah, I could tell you loads of stuff like that, but yeah.
I live at home.
We've never been charged rent. I've never charged rent at home. I've been very lucky.
Good for you. I don't get charged rent.
But you give. You want to give. You give because you want it. To mum, when the bills come, you want to pay for the electric. When you make a bit of money, it's your proud to do it.
And I feel like I'd rather do it while they're around,
Yeah.
And that support.
And take them on holiday as well. That's the best thing you can do for your parents.
Goal, actually.
Right.
Take them on a nice holiday. That's such a nice feeling.
I'm just talking to the camera there. But ultimately, I would like to do that, and then that's like a bucket list ticked off because they've done so much for me.
See, you had it hard because you were out at like 16, 18, and as you said, it was cheaper living outside of the house.
I lived with my boyfriend, but I didn't even want to be with him. I wanted to be at home in a way, but obviously it was too expensive.
Home was bad. Your mum was. I must be honest. I hope you don't mind me saying it, because you're my best friend. But I think, and you're my business partner as well. But I think your mum was very hard on you. I think that's not being a good parent.
But I think that goes back to what I was saying before about like maybe how her parents are probably way more hard on her. Than that.
I think your mother had quite
but you wouldn't behave the same way that your mom behaved towards your kids. So that's what I'm saying. So you lighten up a bit as you go down, and now the kids are so pampered.
Yeah.
They don't,
they don't want to go. Yeah.
Well, my mother got pregnant when she was young, about 15. Well, she was 14, and then you left at 15. So she had this baby, and then she was forced to give it up. So it was a different. In those days, you were forced to give up children. Tough, yes. Now you can have a baby, and you can have loads, and you get loads of benets.
I can't get my head around that. Then you are friends with that lady now. I've met your sister.
Oh, my sister, yeah.
You're that lady that your mum. Your mum gave that baby up.
Yeah, she was forced to.
It's
like Philomena.
I find that so.
It's really weird. I know it's a weird life.
I find it so shocking.
But my dad had a child with a lady, and in those days he wasn't married, and he didn't know it was his anyway. So I've got two sisters of about 55 years old. Yeah, and they're both friends.
Yeah,
but they were adopted out. We didn't see them till later on in life because that's how it is. Oh, it's weird,
so
strange.
Hard.
But you managed to somehow, no matter how big the world is.
They get in contact afterwards later on in life.
So there's some sort of systematic process. Then.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, you're allowed to. The social services give out the details and you can go and find.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all right. Yeah, it's fine. We get on all right, and I can tell that they're both my sisters.
You all look really alike because you either look like your mum or your dad, but you can see the cohesive look of all of you.
It's very odd.
And your parents your mum and your dad, when they came together, did the best they could do to bring their family, both their families, to the table. But
it wasn't easy.
No,
but
I don't think it's ever easy.
But now, you can have kids, you can get benefits. These kids now, they haven't got a father, which is a real shame. Maybe fathers don't want to see the kids, maybe the other way around, whatever. But, we've got this broken society now, and it's and that's having a lot of an effect on everything. It's sad, really.
I still think it's better than the fact that people were. But I still think whatever we've got today has got to be better than that. That thing of people being told that people feeling that force of society that they have to give their kids up.
Oh, that's a terrible.
I think that is the worst thing. And I think wherever we are now, however many even knife crime there is on the street, I still think it's better than that.
Yes,
I still think it's better than having to give up your kid because it's the wrong colour or because you weren't married. I think we've come. Okay, there's all this terrible social injustice, but anything is better than that.
Well,
at the same time, though, these kids are existing, they're living, and they're somehow looked after. Hopefully, I know they go into the wrong home sometimes, but dying at the age of 14 by being stabbed more than
I know that's really sad.
You could count, or I think that's a harsh way to go.
And this is happening to kids who are in kids who are in loving homes. That isn't that out. We're not talking about street kids. So this is the UK.
I mean, any kid shouldn't be dead on that on that platform or on that basis. But to take that darkness away, when did you start paying rent?
I never paid rent. I always worked.
Mama, it's coming.
I always worked. I didn't have to pay rent as long as I was working. I wasn't like a shiftless layabout. I didn't.
Yeah. Also, it's more so.
He's a Hollywood star. What do you mean? This is a former model, former actor.
D-list.
Current. Well, yeah, no. I mean,
I've seen you in that lingerie commercial with that beautiful, sexy girl.
She was fine.
I'm telling you. We're leading on to the next. We're leading very mysteriously onto our next subject.
This is like one of those QVC adverts, or no, those CDs. Oh, buy this double disc CD and you get 10 of these CDs for free. Buy it now. $39.99 plus PMP. It was one of those videos. Do you know what I'm about?
Nothing like.
No, it was a lingerie commercial, Victoria's Secret.
Was it?
It's called Joseph's Secret, didn't you know?
Oh, it's such a secret. I haven't even seen this one.
I was going to say. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway. We're getting on to this. We've actually moved on to the next subject. Have you noticed that,
Which one?
The wife finds les porn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, speaking on your advert, we're moving on to, hey.
Well, there was no lesbian porn. I probably would have done
that's just in my dreams. Must have been just my dreams then.
For free. Pro bono. Yeah. So I actually have a woman coming on the show tomorrow that I want to ask about this very topic. She deals with, she's like a life coach, and she deals with relationships and stuff like that. Is that a problem? I'll just go around the table and just give me like a brief and a quick answer. Is that a problem for your woman, and you're younger, so to watch porn? Like if you found and it's not like somebody she knows or anything like that on her phone, but it's just porn.
Well, in a way, it depends on your relationship, doesn't it?
Yeah. I'm asking about your relationship. Does it matter for you?
I don't have porn. I generally don't have my porn on my phone.
Not for her though.
What if she had it on her phone?
Yeah, would it be a problem to you?
I've genuinely never thought about it. I don't know. You know what? It might depend how much and what it's of.
Really?
How much and what does it consist of? Because if it's just some crazy stuff, then I might have some questions.
Yeah.
Like if it's animals and animals and people.
That's weird, man.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
This is alien in your house.
If I've got like some creepy video, it's like if a phone pops up with you've got a new reminder to watch X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
Depends what that is.
Foods.
Context.
Me? Do you want to see my? You want to watch your lesbian porn on my phone? You want to see my phone?
Anyway, Trudy.
You're asking to see my phone.
Right. Okay. Okay.
I don't even
know why. Crazy.
Back in the old-fashioned days, I actually had my boyfriend, and he was ringing up all those chat lines. I didn't know about that. Those days, and he was like accusing me of ringing him. Anyway, it turned out it was him, and I tell you what, I was in shock. And then I found all these porn stuff. I'm not used to that kind of stuff. So we're going back. So that's Steve, yeah. I'm not going to give his surname. Yeah, and it destroyed me actually. And I went to see his Catholic priest, and he didn't know what to say to me. He said, "We sometimes do these things." I actually called him up, actually, my guy at the time, because he was working in his office. I said, "Do you want to tell me about all this?" I was quite shocked. It really did hurt me because I'm not. When you're being brought up.
How old were you?
Oh, this is. I was with him for 10 years. How long ago was that? This was when I was living 2005. 2005. I was in shock. I actually locked myself.
But you were very sheltered, and he was very deceitful.
I didn't.
The combination was terrible. He was a deceitful man.
Amplified everything.
Yeah.
But if, when I rang them all up, it was like 2 or 3 men together, like whoa, and I thought, God, I couldn't believe I had to ring it again. No, I can't believe it. It was like live stuff. It was just everything. It was.
I don't know.
So we didn't get now. You go through your man's phone. So what happened was this woman, her husband was out. I don't know, mowing the lawn or something like that, and his phone was in the house, and she picked it up to go find something in it and saw all this lesbian porn.
Well,
so that's your scenario.
Yeah, I would feel the same. I wouldn't like it. Sorry, but that's just me.
I'd be taking that phone off it. I'd say, "You ras clat, give me that phone."
Well, the thing is, there's either a problem. Why is that on there? That means that either he's looking elsewhere.
Is it a case of?
No, it doesn't think it's that.
It's on your phone. Okay, is it a case of my days? You're ruining me. Get away from me, or is it a case of what's wrong with you?
It's betrayal. The way for me,
would you go to resolve it?
So?
Do you understand the psychology over it? Well, how would you react?
I mean, if you're together and why do you need any more of anything else? Why have another 5 in the bed? I mean, that's my. Maybe I'm old-fashioned.
I'm not agreeing with any of this. It's just me playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah, okay.
Fantasies or things that they're conditioned to. So
maybe,
to humanize yourself a little bit, tone down on the porn, see the reality of women. It isn't just a machine. There's more to it, and then you could be a bit more in tune with yourself. That's what I would say. Try and fix someone.
What they're running from. Also, the thing is, when you're in a loving relationship with someone, nothing has to be perfect because it's not meant to be perfect.
No,
it's not.
You don't have secrets.
You fix things and
everything away. Basically,
I'm saying it's a secret, isn't it? Something on your phone. It's a secret
because there's other secrets. It's indicative of other secrets, isn't it?
He hasn't shared it with you doesn't mean that it's a secret. It just means something that he's looked at. He didn't think that you might be interested in it, or maybe it wasn't anything have shared with you. So I
wouldn't want it. No.
Did you see it as?
I was doing up his house when it happened to me.
Yeah, I was down doing his house for that man. That's the thing.
I think where I got the idea of it being amplified of a case of everything happening at once, right? But if it was solely just based on this, he's a decent guy.
Well, he wasn't.
But let's say there's another woman and there's another man, and
this is all the wrong gender for me. I've got to step out of this one. I don't get this. Yeah, because I watch lesbian porn all the time. So,
Yeah, that's your thing.
Yeah, that's my thing. I like that. Okay,
where's that going with this? Man.
How would you feel about it?
It's on me now.
Yeah, it's your turn now.
Okay, so
Eyes would be like,
So watching lesbian
that's his head.
porn.
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, as long as they ain't men.
What if it's not?
Really?
That's interesting that you should say that. That's an interesting.
That was going to be my
TV.
Yeah.
It's not going to be lesbian porn for your woman.
Of course.
It's 2 guys.
Yeah. I'll be like, am I not satisfying enough?
It's interesting. That.
Why are you doing it?
Yeah.
I would want to know. It wouldn't be a case of get out of my house because it will bug me a little bit.
Curious.
Because I'll be like, only because I want to understand the situation.
Do you think it'll change the relationship? It wouldn't change your relationship?
Well, if I realise she's a freak, it might amplify the bedroom a little bit more. Or who depends how you take it.
I wouldn't care. My lady Sheila, I'll be watching whatever on TV, and it'll be like Idris Elba or something, and then she'll turn it back or something. I'm not going to be bothered by something like that. If I was with somebody that did that, it wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
Because there's people like
you see it as entertainment, right? You've seen that as an entertainment and a curiosity entertainment factor.
No big deal. It's not like if I was with somebody, then they were like, I want to go to an event or something where these people are.
It's totally
then
different.
I'm like, okay, why are we going to where it's all these, big ass buff black dudes, Then I might feel inadequate or insecure about it or whatever. Then I can see that. Or I wouldn't take my woman somewhere where there's all these, model chicks or whatever that might make her feel certain.
Yeah, you're sweet, man. That's so nice, isn't it?
Why
doesn't everyone like VJ?
Yeah.
I think it comes down to trying to get to the root of it. Again, for me, that would be my reaction. I'm like, what the hell? Why? And like I said,
what's going on in your head that you're doing this with that? Because also, I think that...
Why are you doing it by yourself? Why are you doing it with me? Not watching porn.
Exactly.
Attending to your needs.
That's very true, Naz. That's a really good point.
That's right.
And then I think communication is everything.
Yes.
Clearly, you don't have the communication to be able to try out what you want to try out. Within reason. Let's just say.
Is it though? Is it? Because in terms of the way you look at someone, so like the person you're with, if you really care about them, you're thinking like, I can't do this crazy stuff with this person. Like I see her as too like clean for that almost. Like she's like, I don't know. You're thinking,
what should be done with you then?
I'm saying like if you some people. They think like, oh, this is the woman I want to marry, for example.
But that wouldn't be the right woman. Then if you feel like that, if someone was to, if not you, but if someone was to think like that and feel that separation, that wouldn't be the right person for them. They'd be with the wrong person.
Yeah. So there's the idea of what
because they can't have a perfect.
They go for the idea as opposed to what
because that will end up in let down, and betrayal and betrayal.
Something that they're not sharing with you. Maybe it's something that they wanted to have for themselves. Maybe it's something that has nothing.
It's a bit kind of selfish, isn't it?
No, but I mean, if I know you're not into it, I know for you butt, for example, I know this isn't your get down, right? But for me, that doesn't mean that we have to like everything the same. So it's just, if I'm into hip hop music, for example, and I know you're not into hip hop, I'm not going to invite you to go see KRS-One in concert in Brixton Academy. I'm not. I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to see, KRS-One. Can I bring you back a T-shirt or something? So I don't think that because we don't share it doesn't mean that we're hiding it from you. It just might not be something that you're interested in. I mean, it's my experience. This is for me. It's not for you. It's not for us. Not everything is for us.
I think we're all different. It's the way you're brought up. Yeah.
I want to watch
this way we're brought up is very worrying.
It's more
you got to be yourself.
We can be brought up in a great way and be seen as a saint, and you probably are a saint. But then there's, let's say you random example. So you're young, what you're watching isn't being monitored, so you're conditioning yourself watching these things maybe a bit too early, so you're sexualized early in life, and then you want to entertain these ideas. You don't know how to do it. You don't know.
Do you know what that is?
See, this is all back to this modern age again, isn't it?
Do you know what? I know a guy. He actually found a porn magazine when he was a kid, and it mucked his brain up. He absolutely mucked. He didn't need to see that. And it's obviously his father. So it did.
It's too early. They saw it too early.
Exposed to something like that.
You need to cushion.
It's true.
Understand.
It was hard work seeing porn when I was young. You had to turn the TV to one channel above the channel it was supposed to be, and then turn the cable box to one channel below, and then it had all the wavy shit on the screen. Wait, that's a titty. Look. That's what we saw, and then that was all we got. Because we couldn't go to the video store and be like, I want to rent this. The
game has changed now.
3, right? I can just type in tits and then, bro.
Talking about technology, you've got your VR pornography. You've got
it's going that way.
VR.
What's that? Reality. So you've got your glasses on.
What?
And then
Listen, this is
simulated.
about. What about the sex dolls?
You're like,
have you seen this? What about the sex dolls? Those they're $25,000. Some of them.
Not that much. They're about 3,000.
But they go from but the sex dolls have gone from sex dolls to children dolls.
That's messed up.
See?
To make it okay for paedophiles to be able to
what kind of a guy
deal with their needs through these dolls.
Yes.
You're letting them simulate
that's exercising that act with a child.
What you want to do is heal them. You don't give a obese person a burger or like a picture of a burger.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
I think it's where's the logic in there? I can't see the logic.
Awful.
To play devil's advocate, purely play devil's advocate. I don't agree with it, but like in a way, there's an argument to be made in terms of if this person is almost like beyond help or beyond any therapy that's going to work.
Castration.
That's a point.
Chemical castration.
But D. Damn. But if
you said it, you're right.
If you feel like they're a lost cause and you're not allowed to chop their penis off, you should be. But if you can't, then almost if you give them this out that's a doll, then they may not do, like.
That's probably why
it's like a release.
Yeah.
Well, but it's not. But you're almost promoting it, so it's not a good. It's not a good idea.
I've been chased by a paedophile, and that was a gardener for my gran, and my friend's father snogged me when I was about 14. And they were going to foster me.
Right. So that was the point that I was going to make. So to give them a doll does absolutely nothing, in my opinion, because for somebody that is into something like that, same thing with a rapist. You can't just give a rapist a doll and he's going to stop raping. There's something about me chasing you, me stalking you, me going out, and they're predacious.
The struggle and the
dominance, right? That's gone.
Yeah.
What is this, an inanimate object? They don't give a shit about that inanimate object. They want that resistance. There's something. Something to that. So
yeah, I'd say don't entertain those thoughts.
I agree completely with Naz on this. Completely.
You know, that money can be spent on
actual therapy.
Yeah,
a $3,000 doll or actual therapy.
I don't think you actually ever cure a paedophile. My friend, she was abused. I had one friend abused by her grandfather. She's just mucked up. She just found all these dodgy men. It's never worked because she doesn't feel anything for herself.
Do you think that it's to do with that?
Yeah, since the age of 2, her grandfather was.
You associate with what you know, or somehow find comfort.
Yes,
maybe
it's some abuse.
Yeah.
So she's getting all these men abusing her. She just found another one. It's just like I said, look, just leave him alone. Forget it.
It's just like
deep down, it was twisted. But the best program in the world back in the day was To Catch a Predator. Like it was twisted, but it was so good because it was just so.
They set them up.
They used to do it. It was the first program to do it. Like
they're still doing it.
They put people in online chat rooms.
They're still doing it.
Recent, but they did this like 15 years ago.
What,
yeah, they did this ages ago.
Yeah, but they're still doing it. They're still like going online and that, and then these bus drivers.
When they first did it, when this wasn't a thing that they would be caught, it was the best thing in the world because they would have a house full of cameras everywhere. This guy just comes in, sits down, there's like a plate of cookies, and he's just sitting there just looking away. And she's upstairs. Then suddenly out walks a man in a suit and goes, "Oh, what are you doing here?" And they literally shit a brick.
So this guy I used to work with was on that show, and he was one of these creeps, and we were like, well, how come he hasn't shown up for work in like days, right? So his mom's like, he's not well, or something like that. He didn't work in my store, he worked in one of my other stores. And this guy Alan's like, hey, Tony hasn't come to work. I just put his name out there and everything, right? Yeah. So a couple weeks later, because that show was popping back in the day.
Yeah.
And we turned it on, and he was on TV, dog.
Oh my God!
Consent when you air these shows.
Ew, not that kind of stuff.
Well, not that. They don't deserve this, and they don't deserve that many.
I know. I'm just seeing where the law.
They've been busted. That's it. They're busted because they're crazy.
Here in the UK now, I think it's up north, where they're doing that.
Yes,
setting up these pedophiles.
Yes, I've seen.
I think it's very good.
I've seen it on ITV3.
They're really catching them. They are.
So sort of it started with a vigilante group, didn't it? Obviously,
sexuality is like out of control right now.
It is.
Watching where some guy on the internet today said he got turned gay by his pain medications. So how can somebody honestly think that
we've got a headache
unless he mistakenly took some hormonal pills and...
Well, I think they might. The pills look all the same. They're just like, they could have been repacked wrong. That happens.
Do you think?
Yeah.
So there's some compliance in place.
So there's like gay pills.
Maybe he's just a guinea pig for the system. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, Trudy, you say that.
Moving to conspiracy now.
Maybe it is.
Oh, there. Well, they got that thing, and everyone's sort of like on the pill, aren't they? They don't want people to have children, do they?
Some serious side
They're called useless eaters, is that right? That's what I remember.
Oh, wow.
So it's thinning, they're thinning out the herd then, basically.
That's right.
Anyway, we were talking about the rapture before, so this is all you guys, your three-way thing. I'm just going to let y'all go. So apparently on the 23rd, is that what we said, of this month, numerologists say the planetary alignment is happening. I actually had a dream, it's probably because of this, that I was looking up in the sky, and I could see all the planets, like I could see them, and I was getting my camera ready and everything to take these pictures of Pluto. I mean, they were huge.
Then you realize they were coming your way.
Normally they were little dots. You see a little light, a little red dot. Oh, that's Mars. No, these were actually, they looked like somebody threw a basketball up there. So,
wow.
So the end of days is supposed to be near, or what's going on with that? Are we?
Who wants to say?
I don't know anything about religion.
Well, okay. Okay, according to the Bible, there is a time meant to be the end of the system. But anyway, and it will be all of the sky will go black, basically. But there's a few things that have to happen before that time, and it's meant to be the returning of Jesus. So there'll be a whole thing. So there'll be a war, massive war, which people think it's not going to happen. Which it was USSR, then it became Russia. That's the last king. So it's all in place now, and it's only a matter of time before it kicks off, and it's already started, if you know what I mean. They're all gathering up. It says the ships are gathering up. It's all in the Bible. Anyone can look at it. But religion has to be banned. I know people don't want to hear that, but that has to happen as well. And there's going to be a tribulation.
But there's always been these doomsday prophecies. There's always been all the planets are aligned and all the ships are on the shore and there's Armageddon and there's war.
But this last king had to come.
There's always war.
There's always war in the world.
It suits the powers that be that there is always war and warring factions. When has there ever been a time of complete peace in the world?
No,
never.
That's something that's part of it. They say, the United Nations say they're to do with peace, which is another Bible prophecy.
I don't think any...
It says when they say peace and security, then destruction upon them. And that actually says that. I mean, everything I'm saying, you can just go through the Bible. It's all there. And it's just not me speaking about it. It's a huge... I actually go on YouTube. A massive amount of people looking at this. Robert King is talking about it. He's on YouTube. He actually filled in some gaps for me. I have to say, although we had an argument and he blocked me from his site, it's fine. I still talk to him, but he won't let me back on because I said I'll be glad when all religion's gone, including your religion on your site. But but I still talk to him. But he has got some good points. He has actually filled in that gap. He's not wanting people to worship him. Well, anyway, I'm not. But
Robert King, is he Scientology?
He is actually he is a Jehovah's Witness, but he's left the Watchtower religion, right? And they don't like it. And he exposed the Watchtower religion by saying that they join the United Nations. Because if you believe in God, you don't join any political you stay away. But they're still involved in it, and the OSCE, I think it is. So they're manipulating the religion. They shouldn't be touching it. So this is what's happening in the religion I was in. They are all stepping away from it. There's loads of witnesses who are leaving the Watchtower religion under the governing body. These governing body people have put themselves like popes. But I mean, I won't talk too much scripture because this is down that thing. But
what do you think, Nas, about how does this equate with Islam? This end of days, wrap this whole thing of the doomsday.
I don't think it has any connection with the date. For starters, I think again it's just going to be my perspective. I'm not, ideally I should be representing the religion and the faith, but from my understanding, from the knowledge I have, I do see the understanding. You mentioned a few things of how the end of days are coming and so forth. I mean, that's listed in the Quran as well. But bringing it back to the rapture, I don't think it's going to be the 23rd of April.
No one knows the date.
Monday.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Monday.
Monday?
I mean,
listen, we're interviewing Linda on Tuesday.
It's my mate's birthday.
I
want to go out. So.
You just put it off another day.
Also, the Avengers comes out on Friday, and no one's making me miss the Avengers.
Listen,
I've already booked my ticket and everything. I've already booked my ticket. That's not going to waste because there were world ended.
And let's not forget Han Solo as well. That's coming very soon. Star Wars. But yeah, what about yourself?
I want to take a slightly different perspective. End of days will come at some point. Everything that has a beginning has an end. It will be if the next disaster, like obviously, for example, the dinosaurs are wiped out by the ice age, by meteor, ice age, etc. This one is going to be man-made because humans ultimately are behaving the same way as a virus does. We start somewhere small, we spread, eat everything, consume everything, and then
we are a cancer on this earth,
and then move to another area, which is why we're trying to find another place to populate. Which we're just gonna take over the whole galaxy. Apparently.
I don't think there's any end of time. There will be no end of. There will be no end. There'll be no end. It is infinite.
But it's just that humans can't comprehend infinity. No one can comprehend something that's endless. Your brain, no one's brain can compute something not finishing. So
I mean, even if the species finishes, it's
if the world blows up on Monday,
it won't.
There's still going to be a universe. There's still going to be a
cosmos.
There's a starting to an ending type.
There will never be an end. It's infinite.
That's what I mean.
It can't end.
I'm saying in support of you, it's
it's a cycle that we as humans you can have no comprehension.
It's the rapture, as I understand it, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because you would probably have a more of a biblical knowledge
of the events.
Yeah, the run up to the end. Yeah.
So doesn't that mean that the believers, we'll say you, he's gone. You're a believer, you're gone, and then the rest of us heathens are just left behind.
Well, what it says, the righteous will possess the earth. So in other words, your heart's right, and you're worshipping God in a way by looking after each other and things like that, not hurting anyone and doing the right thing. You will inherit the earth. What it is the system will end. That's what it's on about. This system under the government, although the government's put in place by God, he lets them control it with some rules that we have to behave. This is, like pay your taxes or whatever, things like that. But
the land and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the greed is coming. I mean, isn't there? Yeah. So, it says look out for. It actually says children unruly, lovers of money. It just has a whole list. Earthquakes.
Scary.
It says. I mean, I can't remember, but if I had it with me, I could just read it off. It says earthquakes, children unruly, lovers of money. It's just basically famine. Everything that's happening now is like
chaos,
right.
Basically.
It's right.
That stuff's been happening forever, though.
Yes, it has.
But the only thing is,
always been chaos.
But there has to be this. The last king has stepped into place, which is Russia.
What do you mean?
He's the king of the north. It says the king of the north will rise against the king of the south.
Who's the king of the south?
USA and UK. This is what's going on. This hit
Lord of the Rings. It sounds like Lord of the Rings.
He invented trap.
All this pushing, and no one.
But that since the Cold War.
I'll tell you what will happen. America is going to get a kick in the head.
They said that since the Cold War.
Really?
As well.
And America, and everyone's going to go. Oh, they're all going to stand back because
Khrushchev said this in the 1950s.
Oh, did he? Well, anyway, maybe he was reading the Bible. Well, anyway, so
no, he was a communist.
All been dead back
he was a diehard communist.
December 21st, 2012, and I have to say that was the worst.
I thought it was 1999.
It was 2012.
It was 1975.
Oh no, you see, false prophets.
They're supposed to also die in
Unfortunately,
2000.
we're all stuck together for a long time.
Anyone,
the millennials.
That's right. You're in the millennium.
What it is anyone who says, "Oh, it's here or there," no one knows they're a false prophet. That's how it is.
Okay.
So, and what it is, sometimes they're so convincing, you get behind them and nothing happens, and then you go flip it.
I'm not going to be getting.
My days of
I'm not going to be getting behind these old balls.
Long ago. It's just I try and keep it factual and then take things with a pinch of salt.
Thing is, right? Come Tuesday, you should look at that guy going, well, it's clearly
true. It's always like that, though. Isn't the Hail Bop comment was coming, and then you had the guys with the Nikes and I forget what the cult was, and they all killed themselves because they were supposed to.
Wasn't that Jim Jones?
No, that was way after Jim Jones.
All right.
Jim Jones was on some whole other shit.
Yeah, well, I think the Watchtower's doing that same thing because they bought all these buildings. Actually, they bought these tips, these toxic tips, and made all the workers turn it into something really, really good, like Warwick, and there was another one, Chelmsford, and they're all like living on there off the luxury of the flock, and all the flock are like part-timers and loads of witnessing, but you know, at the end of the day, they're living the life of luxury, like flying around to other countries. These are governing bodies, so they're flying around the world telling people not to wear tight pants.
Talking about the Jehovah kind of thing.
But they're sort of, but they make the whole congregation in fear. There's nothing to fear. When you know God, you don't have to fear anything, as long as you behave.
That's actually a really comforting thought. I'm quite comforted by that. When you know God, you don't have to fear anything.
Yeah.
That is the whole fundamental thing of belief in anything.
Yeah.
He's got some God, rules. You don't fear.
He's got some basic rules, which we all got that conscious.
And that's something that is in every religion.
The thing is, the God, I can't from my view and how I've been brought up, and I've learned an awful lot in the last year because I'm not being brainwashed by the Watchtower anymore. Now I'm reading the Bible for itself and what it says. It says there'll be a man who sets himself up in the religion, God's people, according to this, and he will basically say the end of days, which they have been doing. 1918, I think it was, 1975, 1925, and now they're sort of like saying the tribulation. Well, no, the tribulation doesn't happen yet.
So it says there that this guy will come up with dates that events don't occur.
Yeah.
And then just to distract everyone.
Yeah, they're just basically, the thing is, they're all like, people don't follow a man. The Bible says, do not put your hope in any man, any princes, not in even, I mean, you know, we have to behave like what the government say, but we don't get involved with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, take it, so you're born again, but just Christianity.
I'm not born again. I'm not actually baptised because I had a problem with the religion. Oh, okay. They said if I wanted to be baptised, I had to do like nearly a year's work of going around knocking on doors. I had no problem doing that to be baptised. Yet Jesus said, anyone who believes, let them be baptised. You don't have to flip and do like a week's work.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's if you believe in him.
I guess my question was, so you're not Jehovah's Witness anymore?
Do you know, I am a Jehovah's Christian Witness, but I've never been baptised. But my mate's going to do it. I don't need the governing body.
So you are a Jehovah's?
Yeah, but I'm against the Watchtower because it's
Watchtower's different.
Watchtower religion is not Jehovah's Witness. Yeah, Watchtower is the Jehovah's Witness. All the Jehovah's Witnesses are in the Watchtower religion, and they worship this image, which is actually a watchtower. I've
got quite a lot of friends
they've actually
in
got
the
an
States
image.
that are Jehovah's, actually.
Have you? Yeah.
Quite some people.
It's sort of this thing. It's grown.
Seem to be born into that faith. Very great friends of mine.
I thought it was when you read the Bible, it frees you.
And very nice people.
Once you know the truth, it absolutely frees you.
These Jehovah people I know in the States are really nice people.
This is it. You see, the most people are genuinely nice, but what's happened is in the centre, the religion is corrupt, and they can't see it. They're blind.
Sorry, it falls into the wrong hands. Manipulate the image, and it ruins everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think. Stick with the good.
It's closed over here.
I was going to say that's the way that everything goes, though, in terms of like in modern society, because everyone's now just got greedy. That's the same way. That's the same. Yeah. It's the same. The religious structure is the same way as a corporate structure.
Absolutely,
which is the same way.
Yeah, the Catholic. Look at the Catholic.
Like UK doing arms deal with Saudi, knowing these being used for
knowing what it's going to be used for, or I don't know. Like
Amnesty International are hard on the case with that, but
people working in government who are like pushing legislature that affects their own agenda that makes them more money.
Money's the god.
Money's the ultimate. Money's the driver of.
It's the driver.
99% of decisions made everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
In a social system.
Yeah.
Or like in an economy where
ultimately it will come down to money at some point, whether it's like the full primary reason or it's down the line this will lead to money.
Yeah.
The decision, every decision is made with money in mind.
I'd rather it be money than you've seen that Justin Timberlake film Out of Time.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
I'd rather not be paying with time.
Oh no. Been that for a lot.
In theory, we time is all we have until it's up. But like, and we should fuel ourselves with the time we have. But
time is the only thing we're sure of.
Yeah, exactly. And
we're not sure of it, though, are we?
Death is the certainty.
Yeah, death is certainty. Oh yeah.
But I get what you mean.
The end of time is.
The end of time is now because the show's over.
That's a wrap.
Some interesting, stimulating conversation. It's the hour's up, man. The day's done, and hopefully we're still here to talk about it on Tuesday.
I was gonna say, are you having another show? Are you gonna plan one, or are you just gonna?
Well, we'll see. So this might be the last show. Hopefully, we get 1 million views. You guys watch this shit. So, where can people find your guys' show? Tell us all about your show. Actually, you got a minute left. So, what's going on with?
Oh well, you can watch us on YouTube on the Boudica Sherazade YouTube. Boudica Sherazade YouTube. Boudica Diaries. The Devon Diaries.
What are the shows about? Tell us. What's
comedy.
It's
We're doing comedy. We're going to do a whole lot more as well.
There's a lot of things in the pipeline that Judy writes. She's the writer. She writes all.
But
the
you
scripts.
do as well.
So
it just rolls off the pen. It's so easy. We're just funny people.
You on Instagram? What's up? Where do people follow?
Yeah, Instagram.
Do a bit of Insta. I'm banned on Facebook at the moment, so you have to wait for another 20 days till I'm back on.
What did you do? Did you share some porn?
Lesbo porn. She's like, watch this.
She's not denying it, guys.
Nothing. No, something. Nothing.
It's alright. We won't get into it. In 20 days' time. You'll be on Facebook.
You're always in trouble.
I know.
He's on the show. You was up.
Listen, last time I was in the police. I was in that you had to come and get me from Hatfield Police Station, Vaughan.
Doing dirt. So, you promoting anything? You got anything?
Sneaker Lab. Sneaker Lab Events is the new one for the trainers event at Sneaker Lab Events. That there's no date yet, but it will be coming.
Cool.
I'm just a nobody, guys. I'll be here next week if the rapture doesn't occur, and you'll be able to find me there.
Cool. We're gonna end this off on one of the worst hip hop songs ever in the '80s.
Oh boy, I need love.
I hated this song. I still hate this song.
This is lovely.
I like it as well.
Girls are like,
I love it.
Oh, lady does love Cool J.